right, Cyber Traders, welcome on back here this Wednesday, May 18th. Not March 18th, but May 18th. Great to see Norman, Grant, Bill, Michael, and all of us live inside Cyber Group. And for all of us joining us once again on social media, Facebook Live or YouTube, welcome on back as well. My, oh my, folks, what happened? What had happened today? Geez, SPY is down over 3% and counting. Obviously, still at the lows, albeit it looks like maybe a little short covering beginning to come in. But geez, all the movement up that we had heading into the close yesterday, that obviously went all the way today and much more. We ended up hearing from Janet Yellen early in the morning. I think that really ended up shocking the market a bit. I think just overall weak retail earnings just from this week, yesterday and today. There was some COVID news that came out, or some headlines that came out on top. It's like, everything that could happen is happening here, folks, and we're seeing a big drop off as a consequence, as a result. So for right now, I mean, at least for what's on the screen, Target, TGT, albeit expensive, this was a really good short from today. I mean, it took a little while for it to continue to pull back down. For as much as it dropped off, you would expect a potential dead cat bounce at first, perhaps after the market opens up. But from there, it didn't even bounce up too much. It was just like a long consolidation period. It just ended up failing to break higher, and then it ended up snapping down, and that's what led to a good short trade again with this stock. So for right now, TGT, it seemingly is on the way towards I'll say 150. I mean, I was going to say like 155 when it was at 160. So here we are now, and why not, think that it can go another 5 points lower here. So, TGT target, I'll just put on the watch list to begin. I would assume we're going to find a lot more on the loser side today, folks, right? But, I got to do my due diligence and just go right from the top of the gainers list first. The DPSI stock, what the hell happened here? I mean, for as much as the market dropped off, not everything goes with it. And we know that. That's been the theme over the last, real week or so with us here. But, DPSI, this thing was so flat and ugly in pre-market. I was really reluctant to put this on the pre-market watch list just to begin. And with that, it wasn't really doing anything for us going into the open. So with that, it ended up popping up pretty quickly. It got halted up, it got halted down. And, normally when a stock gets halted down, that's normally game over. That's a wrap. So, listen, we ended up missing the vast majority of this move, if anything. I didn't touch this thing. Ended up bottoming out around 680-ish, 675, perhaps that even is, and then ended up slingshotting back over 7. Made a really nice push, really nice squeeze, but, we know this will come right back down. It did the same. It ended up popping and dropping back in the beginning of May. So, right now, I mean, hey, it's still pretty much up on the day, but the order book is so thin right now. I'm not really too impressed with it here for the afternoon. If it ends up making another big spike during this meeting, then maybe I'll slip it on the list here at the end. But still, I'm not as likely to touch this thing, just given how thin the book is, how big the spread is, and how much it could fluctuate at that. All right, so let's see what else we got here. We got a cheapy AFI. I mean, hey, it's at the highs, near the highs of the day here, off like 52 cents, pushing up. Obviously, contrary to DPSI, this thing really liquid. So, I like that. I'm not as particular to the stocks below $1, though, right? We ended up doing really well earlier on one of them. I think it was the Genius trade going into the market open. I'll come back to this if I need to. The AFI trade, just put it on the side list. Looks like a new IPO here, BGXX, similar order book to the DPSI and a lot more expensive. So PIK, a little push from earlier this morning, but fell flat, so we skip over that here. UVIX, I believe, is an ETF similar to UVXY. So with the market down as much as it is, obviously UVXY, SQQQ, all of the VIX or inverse or bearish ETFs, or on the gainer side here, SOXS here, LABD, and all of those. So I'll just basically tag UVXY on the list here itself. I know students like Mark and Johannes. I don't want to leave anyone out there, but I know those two in particular were killing it on UVXY earlier today. Maybe John was, perhaps, if I'm not mistaken, maybe Robert. I know a few of us ended up jumping in and out on this trade for UVXY, and with that, it's at the highs. So the market's at the lows, this should be at the highs, and we'll put more of a focus at least on this one. All right, let's see what else we got. Stocks and SQQQ, all the inverse ETFs like I had referenced. Here's Genius, GNUS from earlier. Pre-market ended up popping up pretty nicely. It was a great pre-market trade, but then ended up, hey, diving off after the open, expectedly so. We were hopeful to see support around 83 cents, maybe 85 cents there. And it held for a bit, but didn't give us the push that we wanted, right? So, if it's not going to make that big move up, guess what? It's going to make a big move. I guarantee it. Just the complete other way. So with that, we ended up seeing it just continue to dump off and fill the gap down on the daily chart there. All right, let's see what else we got. Like I had said before, folks, markets are tanking. Not expecting to find much of anything on the gainer side, but I gotta do my due diligence. Gotta cross my T's, dot my I's. The OST one, I remember this was down like 90% one day, like new IPO or so, but yeah, not really doing a whole lot now. And then lastly, BBIG, right? BBIG was a really good runner for us early this morning. Went against the grain at first, running up from nearly 295 3 level, and then pushed up towards 340. So nice little run there, making like a second win type of move. You could even see right now, but it's not impressing me enough to put it on the main list. All right. So good side list stock. You can keep this in mind for tomorrow and for Friday, at least end of the week. Definitely very tradable liquid stock, but I just don't expect this to break higher by the close. And hey, if it keeps pushing by the end of this meeting, then I'll flip my script. Then we'll look to follow it a lot further if it could prove itself a little bit more from this point. But let's see what we have on the loser side first. So Target number 3 on the loser side. That's shortable. Endo's number 2. Wow. Endo Pharmaceuticals, a 61-cent stock now. It was a 36-cent stock earlier today. Oh my goodness. I mean, you take your eyes off a stock for a little while, but ENDP in particular, we've been trading this stock for years. I mean, really almost as long as I've been employed with Fausto. I mean, probably since like 2017 time when it started to fall, around $10, $6 or so. But with that, ended up just being a nice trade here and there off of news or off of earnings. We used to call it out, but man, you take your eyes off a stock for a little while. Oof, 36 cents. Jeez. All right. Well, we're not going to short it. We're not going to dead cat bounce it, but just wanted to take a quick look. Got TGT, and then of course for anyone with trader's dyslexia will suffer, we got TGI right below it. And this thing actually looks decent as far as a chart. So, chart looks pretty good. Nice trend down, breaking support from around 17. Probably doesn't have the, most liquid of books and probably didn't, I should say, from earlier. It doesn't right now. Decent spread, but nothing really that's big that's standing out as a big iceberg order. So, right now, if anything, it looks like some volume got filled earlier, perhaps some selling initially, then some covering. What was it, 218? So pretty much right here around 1630-ish, 1632-ish. Someone smashed up to try and cover short, it seems. Then from there ended up continuing to pull back. So, for right now, obviously I'd look to follow the trend and respect the trend here on this TGI. I wish it was a little bit more filled in here on the book, but you know what? I don't mind putting this on our list. I'll separate it from TGT though. Yeah, TGT, TGI. All right, so there's definitely a lot on this loser side here, folks. You got BJ's down over 17%. I'd be remiss to not at least click on that for perhaps Fausto, who may or may not be tuning in right now, right? This thing is dropping off pretty nicely. This is actually one that I know, like this is one of his favorite stocks, like as far as a swing. He's done really well on this on the swing sides. That's where I jokingly say that, of course. But either way, definitely looks great as a day trade, a little bit more expensive, but nonetheless, for a $52 stock, I'd say this is this is relatively liquid. Compare this to TGI. I mean, it's pretty similar. So for $52, that's pretty good. All right, what else we got here? We got Woof. Petco. That's Petco? Really? I didn't realize Petco is Woof. That's interesting. All right, well, Petco Health and Wellness Center obviously taking a hit here today. Could be off of earnings. That would be my guess. But this one looking like the best one in terms of the liquidity on the order book. It's just at the lows. It's already trading, a lot of volume per minute right now. So you know what? Woof. You got it. We'll put this on the top of our list here for right now. Definitely the best looking short here so far. Yeah, Dick's Sporting Goods. Dick's is like 77 bucks. It's a lot more than that, but this one dropping off too. So obviously, like we said before, retail taking a huge hit. Department stores taking a huge hit. Let's see. Anything else to round up the loser side here? I'm sure there's got to be plenty more. I mean, number 48's down over 13.5%. So I'm going to need a little help, folks. Let's work together here as a team. If there's anything else up, down, or anything down, certainly more than 10% at least, type it in the chat board. Let me know. You have the GLBE trade. Just keep it on the side list, I reckon. It's been a nice trade from the last couple of days. A gap down, then squeezed all the way back up, and then dropped back down today. It is shortable. John out on the UVXY trade at 1680. Nice catch from him. Steve asking about Rivian. Let's take a look. It's not really going anywhere right now, Steve. It's a good side list stock. It's been really nice to us over the last few days, right? On the way down, on the way up, both directions. But for right now, we'll pass on this. We could probably say the same on a lot of different trades, and that's okay. It's worth at least checking out, right? And hey, right now, Lululemon from John also, a little bit more expensive for our liking, but dropping off really nicely as well. If I'm going to put one expensive stock on our watch list here for the close, I think it'll be Target. But for right now, TGT, I mean, how could you not respect the trend down here, right? So, if you're going to buy puts on it, that's one thing. But otherwise, I'm not as interested in trading the equity as much. All right, so Neo here, I'm probably going to need to clear my chart, so just bear with me for a quick second there. That's from yesterday's trading, actually, not from today, so it's not really relevant price levels. But Neo, a lot of chop going on there, not really too much happening on the Neo trade right now, so we'll pass on that. Say the same on AMC. American Airlines was dropping off all throughout the afternoon. It slowed down a little bit here. So, I could put this on our list. It's down over 5%, in one of the airlines, right? John saying Beyond Meat down from 150. Yeah, right. Geez, down from 150 down to 25 bucks, right? Actually, I appreciate the shout on Beyond Meat. I'm not going to put this on the watch list here for the afternoon, but I didn't realize Beyond Meat's like $25 now. Damn. All right, so this is definitely going to be on my personal side list going forward. Let me write this down. This will be a nice prep. I don't know if I'll trade this tomorrow, but I didn't write this down today. I could have. There we go. Nice to have. Nice to have in the back pocket. You never know. Never know when, John. I appreciate that. Let's take a look. What else do we have here, folks? You got maybe like a gaming stock, casino stock like MGM. Down over 8% right now. I mean, hey, that was dropping off really nicely across the late morning, early afternoon. Seems still very tradable. Penn National Gaming, similar, move down, maybe not as steady. Maybe it hasn't dropped off as much percentage-wise. MGM definitely took a bit of a hit. Win down over 5.5% right now, a little more expensive, but just wanted to check out another casino stock. RJF checking out the Veru trade for us. Yeah, Veru, nice speech impediment. Ended up making such a big move for us yesterday. Ended up dropping right back down. And at that, it ended up holding resistance or past resistance at 1450 as support. But ended up breaking down from that point. It's getting a small push right now. Out of all the side list stocks that we've talked about so far, I'd be most interested in the MGM and the Veru trade right here. So I don't mind at least adding Veru to our list, or at least really familiar with it. It's not making like an impressive move. That's definitely not the case. And I'm not expecting this to like run back up to 16 or 1550. God bless if it does that. But, for right now, at least, should the markets make some sort of squeeze back up, maybe this can make the push. But that's the only reason why I would put this on our watch list here. Jim calling out Open, OPEN. It's down near 10%. at the lows of the day today, right? So in terms of a nice level 1, maybe level 2 short in terms of like volatility, this would be a great stock to watch, right? Let's see what else we got. Open, I definitely could put on our list. Mike calling out the CCL trade near the low of the day, that down over 7%. All right, so I'll tell you what, we're going to do a little bit of everything here. We're going to do CCL, we're going to do MGM, that Viru trade I already put on the list, and open. Deal? I think that's a good deal right there. All right, so in total, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 different stocks, and then obviously UVXY for all of us that are following UVXY heading into the close, or maybe like an SQQQ. I'll kind of feature UVXY for you folks there. All right, for all of us on Facebook Live and YouTube, once more, I appreciate you folks joining me each and every day, each and every afternoon. I always like to post my email here at the end of these streams. In case if you have any other questions or trades that you would like to go over with me here, send it on over to Josh at c2trading.com. If you wanted to join us live inside our trading room, feel more than free to do so. You can go right down to the link on the yellow banner below right there on the stream to get yourself started. But for Michael, for Jim, for John, for Norman, for Steve, who I'll be talking to in just a little bit, actually, I look forward to talking to most of us otherwise coming up at 3:30 here to wrap things up for the market close. Talk to you all then.
Become a Cyber Group member today. Just click the link below and receive all these amazing products and a world of knowledge for just $9. Do it today.